I'll give it a few seconds before I get started here. Hope y'all all having a good morning, a good Friday. End of the week, we made it. All right, a few more seconds here. All right, I'm going ahead and get started. It says House approves police reform bill named after George Floyd. Now, for all y'all who might not know, like it's been what 30 years, so that's then they're like 3 generations, so 2 generations for sure. 30 years ago, around this time, not George Floyd, Rodney PD, and it was caught on camera for the first time, basically. Like black folk been knowing it's been happening, but we never able to have it live on camera. This particular incident was caught on camera. They really broke that boy down. I watched a documentary probably about a couple months ago on Netflix, and man, it didn't look like it, but man, dog was really messed up, man. They down there beat him an inch away from his life, you know. So that was something that sparked off the LA riots in 92, happened 91, 92, you know what I'm saying, which shedded light on police and the black community and why we feel and why we still feel the way we feel, because we still 30 years later, we still dealing with it. You understand? I'm 43, man. So in 91, 92, like 14, 15, 16, somewhere around there, man. So we were dealing with that back then. And before that, I used to talk to my grandma, my granddad, and they used to tell me things, not even the police, just regular ass white folk. How they used to, you gotta walk, if you walk in a white neighborhood, you had to walk in the street. If you walked on the sidewalk, matter of fact, my auntie told me that. If you walked on the sidewalk, you know what I mean, they'll spray you with a water hose, threaten you with a shotgun. I mean, all kind of crazy shit. You know what I'm saying? That's what, like, man, this ain't, my auntie still living. My grandma gone, my granddad gone, but my auntie still living. You know what I'm saying? Exactly, bro. What changed? Exactly, nothing. Nothing changed. We still in the same shit. Different toilet, but same shit, man. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna read this to y'all, and just like, I know a lot of black people are educated, but a lot of black people don't want to do their research and read, man, and get the knowledge. Like they are put on here, like I said from the beginning, House approves police reform bill named after George Floyd. So, you know, like Al Sharpton and Roland Martin, all them boule niggas, they piping it up like it's a win. But we the fine print, then you understand, man, this is some bullshit. So let me go ahead and read it to y'all right quick. It says House lawmakers on Wednesday passed the George Floyd Justice and Policing Act, a reform bill that will ban chokeholds and alter so-called qualified immunity. Okay, so they're gonna ban those, right? Okay, that's cool. But then it says alter. If y'all know what what the word alter mean, so-called qualified immunity. Why it just can't end qualified immunity? Why they gotta do alter so-called qualified immunity? And qualified immunity is basically where you can sue the police union and the police directly. Right now, you suing the city. So George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, I mean, the countless list goes on and on and on, right? You basically suing the city. So basically, the people, because I mean, the whole city might not be black, it might be a higher percentage, but basically, people are paying for their own demise. So like in Breonna Taylor case, they cashed out, right? So everybody, oh, Breonna got cashed out. But the black people who pay taxes there basically paid for that because they sued the city. They didn't sue the individual. They didn't sue the police union. So getting rid of qualified immunity, you will be able to sue the police directly. The police union directly. The police union got a lot of cheese. How you think these police officers, when they get these high ass bails and niggas, oh man, they ain't getting out. Man, you crazy. They gonna get out through a GoFundMe, and the GoFundMe was sponsored by the police union. And they out of jail on a $2-3 million, sometimes $4 million bond, man. Y'all gotta understand what goes on, man. You know what I mean? Now, when Joe Biden got into office, he signed all executive orders for the Asian community, for the LGBT community. They didn't put vague language in the executive order. They made sure, like if I was to go do something to a transgender or immigrant right now, don't you know they will throw the book at me? You understand? Like, they would throw the book, but then I can go shoot up a whole block full of niggas, and I might get some time, or I might not, depending on what the judge and how the judge is feeling. You understand? So let me read on here, man. So basically says alter so-called qualified immunity for law enforcement, which will make it easier to pursue claims of police misconduct. Yeah, right. Go back to, like I said, alter so-called. It don't say it eliminated. That's what we need to be hearing. Eliminated qualified immunity. It says the 220 to 212 vote, mostly along party lines, came 9 months after Floyd, a 46-year-old black man, was killed by the Minneapolis police officers last spring. Wide-ranging legislation would also ban no-knock warrants in certain cases. Let me read that again. Wide-ranging legislation will also ban no-knock warrants in certain, let's underline the word certain, cases. So it's not a definite. So they still going to have no-knock warrants, but it's looking like they eliminated no-knock warrants. But when you read the language, they basically trick words. These are trick words, man. And then it says mandate data collection on police encounters, prohibit racial and religious profiling, and redirect funding to community-based policing programs. Now, we're redirect funding, which is money, to community-based policing programs. So basically, this bill gives the police more money. They just gonna shift it to another department and put a label on that bitch and say, oh, this is community-based. We got new AR-15s. We got new armored trucks, but this is part of community-based policing program, so this is what this fall under. You get what I'm saying? Like, it's not funny, but it's funny, man. It's crazy. And then it says, never again should an unarmed individual be murdered or brutalized by someone who was supposed to serve and protect them, said Representative Karen Bass, Democrat from California, in a statement. Never again should the world be subject to witnessing what we saw happen to George Floyd in the streets of Minnesota. Now, these black elected, let me go back. These black selected Congress people, Senate, any position that you see a black person in, just know that they towing the line when it comes to whatever white supremacy. And white supremacy umbrella is Democrat, Republican, conservative, liberal. That's white supremacy. There's no difference between the two. One just smile in your face. The other one tells you, fuck you. That's why we couldn't handle Donald Trump, because he was too harsh for us. So we like Joe Biden, but Joe Biden, as you see, is basically, it's a hustle. They basically hustle to people. So that leads to what I wanted to say, my brother. Now, if y'all haven't known, Mike Brown's dad basically is suing, or not suing, but he's demanding $20 million from not the LGBT, but they backed by the LGBT, right? The BLM, Black Lives Matter movement, right? He's demanding $20 million, right? Because they hustled our death. Like, us dying, they hustled it. It's been reported that they didn't receive in donations $91 million, and no black family has benefited from that money. So that's why Mike Brown's dad is demanding $20 million, because he ain't received nothing from them. See? So when Mike Brown showed up, We gonna support you. It's all a photo op and a cash out, like Dog was saying. They basically be using our death, man. They use our death for profit. You get what I'm saying? Like, this is real. Like, we got to pay attention to what's going on out here, man, and not get caught. See, we by nature are emotional people. And emotional people, it's a good thing and a bad thing to be emotional. You know what I mean? That's why we so passionate when it comes to our music, sports, anything that benefits us in a positive light. Using our emotion is good, but what it hurts is that we too emotional and we don't really think when it comes to the negative shit. Like when it comes to politics, when it comes to these, like I said, these people that they put in place, man. Like Al Sharpton is not for us, man. Roland Martin, all these different people, man. I'm telling you, even Sheila Jackson Lee, what's the other black chick that they call Auntie? They is not for us, man. They basically are put in place to keep us, to give us the illusion like we being successful or we moving up. But if you notice, they don't really talk on real issues, man. Like the reparation bill, that ain't nothing but window dressing. That's like going to the mall and looking at a dress or looking at a pair of pants that you want to get, but you don't got the money. That's basically what that bill is. But they promoting it like, yeah, this right here is going. Why do they need to study reparations? Y'all know what the hell y'all did to us? They didn't allow us to read and write. They was reading and writing and starting colleges and all this shit. They know what they did to us. Now they playing dumb like, yo, we need to study like what happened to y'all. Y'all know what the fuck us, man. So that whole study, then they get niggas like Sheila Jackson Lee and like I said, the other chick and all them black people, man, so-called black people to get on board and be like, yeah, look, we're moving forward. It's progress. Look. But they know what happened to us, man. They don't need to that thing that they created. So just pay attention in these bills. Don't get caught up in the title. Because, like I said, that's why I started off with the Rodney King thing and the George Floyd headline, because they trying to use our emotions, like have us connected, like, oh, okay, so 30 years later, they passing a reform bill that's going to benefit us, and we not going to have to deal with blah, 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 like they did with Rodney King and George Floyd and all in between, right? But then, like I told, I just broke it down to you reading the words that basically that bill has no teeth. These officers, these race soldiers are killing black people on camera and not going to jail. Amber Geiger, if y'all remember her, who killed the fella, the black man, I can't pronounce it now. I know he got a foreign name, but killed him in his own apartment. She came in his apartment and killed him, thought it was her apartment. But I'm like, that just was weird as hell. But bottom line is she about to get a appeal because the family was doing all that forgiving, all that shit to get that little piece of change. Because when they bring out these certain lawyers, Ben Crump, all these other different lawyers, they basically tell the family, because they're making a settlement with the city to calm the city down, you know what I'm saying? Basically, you know, just go out here and say you forgive them, and you know what I mean, everybody get to hug and make it a hug fest and blah, 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 and this, that, and the third. The judge was hugging her, the black bailiff was stroking her hair. Now she getting an appeal. And you know when she get an appeal, you know she gonna win, right? So what, it's been what, almost 2 years? So she got 10, so you know she ain't gonna do the whole 10. She back free. See, we got to get off of this, man. We got to get off of this and pay attention and basically stand on our ground. Because like I said, when it comes to black on black, it's family members who ain't forgave family members since the 80s. But then a white man do something, a white woman do something, you want to dump and, I want to forgive them, but you ain't forgive uncle such and such or auntie such and such since the 80s. And we in 2021. See? We got a lot of smoke for each other, but when it comes to them, we ain't got no smoke. That's all I got to say, man. Y'all have a good Friday and have a good day. Peace.